Look.
Listen.
And once again, no Taylor, 2 weeks in a row. What is this, some sort of sick joke? Are you kidding me?
Taylor.
All right, welcome everybody to episode 184 of the Look, Listen Cast. It's a podcast about Pokemon and other things where we discuss the Pokemon Horizons anime and other things as well. Today is going to be Horizons number 125, or as I like to call it, Horizons 124.5. Am I right, Geese Peep?
Got him.
Yeah. Okay, look.
Listen.
But Taylor, before we even get into the first segment of Geese of the Week, what you've been peeping, we gotta, everybody calm down. It is a big episode full of battles, and I know, you know, that Geese Peep hates battles. So prepare for her to give it a 0. Perhaps. We'll see. I don't know. She hasn't told me yet. I don't want to know. Keep it to yourself.
You don't know me.
Okay. Guys, listen. Let's say, for instance, you are not a fan of Pokemon. That's fine. Boy, do we have a segment for you. That's right, Geese Peep. Let's start strong with our first segment of the week, Geese the Week, what you been peeping. This week, I have peeped, and full disclosure, I actually peeped this before last week's recording, but I forgot to mention it, but I've seen the first episode of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Geese Peep did not let me watch the next 2 episodes, so does it get better?
That's not correct. I just didn't want to watch them with you. You could have watched them while I was at work or any of the other times where...
There's been 0 other times. There was only one opportunity. It didn't happen. Guess I'll never see it. Anyway, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. This is, of course, based off of Dunk and Egg, of course, which is, of course, apparently. It's all Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire. So we got the main prime series, Game of Thrones. Then we had the prequel series, which, of course, House of Dragons. House of Dragons, pretty good so far. I mean, maybe some misses. Game of Thrones, almost exclusively strong until the end. Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's a completely different vibe. It is a comedy, and I enjoyed reading the stories, the books, because I'm fairly certain, you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or looklistencast@gmail.com. You can email that. I'm pretty sure the Dunk and Egg stories were always just thrown into random other books, just little compilation books. There would be a little Dunk and Egg story in there, and I'm pretty sure I've read all of them, and I have enjoyed them. There's going to be a lot of correct me if I'm wrong here, Geese Peep, because I thought I was under the impression that those original stories were kind of all ages, unlike Song of Ice and Fire, which is very much adults only. So I was kind of disappointed to see that the show is still very raunchy and R-rated, mature rated, whatever. But it's certainly going for a completely different vibe from the other two. The other two were big time, serious drama. Ooh. This is just a silly comedy. And they do got to change something for the third series. I mean, it makes sense. You do want a different little vibe shift because you can't make it more epic or whatever, House of Dragon is actually based off of just this weird anthology history book called Fire and Blood, I believe. And the Duncan and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, this new one, is based off of these tiny little short stories for kids or all ages. I believe. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it was for all ages that were just in little compilation stories that George Railroad Martin put out in different books.
Okay.
I mean, it's set in that universe. Big spoilers. Should I big spoils? Because I don't think it's been revealed in the TV show yet. So I will not big spoilers.
Well, now I'm curious.
Well, I'm sure you are. But you won't even watch it. So I won't big spoilers the television show, but just rest assured, you've got a character named Sir Duncan the Tall. He's a big goofball. He likes to eat. Does a big poop in the first episode. Tee-hee, it's a comedy. And also a very small bald boy goes by the name of Egg. So if you're clever enough to figure out a secret spoiler, perhaps you can. So yeah, that's a good, I'm not impressed with it by episode 1, but maybe episode 2 and 3 will change my mind. Also, Geese Peep, this one I'm going to throw on over to you because we both watched a little movie by the name of Send Help. And I didn't say this to you earlier, but we watched the movie and we definitely know that actress's name. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. And then later that night, I looked her up to see what else stuff she's been in. And then I realized, oh, it's Regina George. I didn't even realize.
What do you mean? She's in so many different movies.
I've never watched her other stuff. I've never seen Sherlock Holmes or whatever the heck else she's in.
Wow, I guess because, yeah, you're not the right audience. But Rachel McAdams, she's in, The Notebook. She's in Mean Girls.
Yeah, I know her from Mean Girls. Wait, is she main character in Notebook?
Yeah.
That to me is so weird. That's not the timeline in my head. I think of Notebook as way after or way before Mean Girls.
It was like the same time period.
She's just a little teenager? The main character of The Notebook?
She's currently in her 40s.
Right. She's like 47.
Yeah. She's in Eurovision Song Contest movie.
Never saw that one.
Okay. I guess, yeah, she would be more of a not rom-com is the right word, but
The Notebook with Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
The big, every girlie's favorite little romantic story is starring the girl from Mean Girls.
Rachel McAdams, yes.
That's crazy. Who knew? Anyway, this is a movie directed by Sam Raimi. It's a little horror movie. I feel like this script must have been written forever ago because it does not strike me as a modern movie. And big spoilers about this movie, send help. The plot of it, big spoilers, is actually very similar to other movies I've seen, which annoyed me a little bit, but it was enjoyable, I guess.
The ending didn't make any sense in terms of how...
The ending, I agree. There's too many loose ends. The ending doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a movie I would never watch again.
Well, Geese Peep doesn't like horror movies, and there's a lot of blood and like scary stuff and jump scare.
It wasn't scary per se. It was just a lot of, body yuckiness and tenseness.
Yeah, it got really good reviews, so I had to see it.
It was a fun movie. I wish they made more, like, I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a B movie, Like, I wish they made more movies like this. Everything feels so high stakes. Like, any movie they make feels so high stakes in terms of, like, production value and everything. I enjoyed it.
I think I felt it had pretty high production values, actually.
I just mean, like, any movie that comes out feels like a whole ordeal. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's just a dink little movie.
That's what I mean by B movie.
Just plopped on out. I
mean, it's a plopper.
Oh my god. So it was fine. I don't know if I don't use the website Letterboxd, but I don't know what score I'd give it. It's okay, I guess. Whatever. I don't think it's as good as the reviews led me to think it is, but she did good.
I think people are just craving more movies that are ploppers. They're not super serious and it's not heavy subject matter.
I will say, though, once I realized Rachel McAdams was Regina George from Mean Girls, I said to myself, what range? What great range.
Oh, I think she's a great actress.
Oh, yeah, she did a great job. All right, Geese Babe, did you want to start talking to us all about what you've Geese of the Week this week? What you've been peeps?
Yeah.
Please take it away, Geese Peep.
So, chronologically speaking, we went to the park in, I don't know, what was it, Culver City? Is that it? The Kenneth Hahn State Park.
We would have talked about that last week, probably.
No, because remember we recorded Tuesday, we went Wednesday. That's why I asked.
Well, we went to Honolulu Park, so.
No, it was Kenneth Hahn State Park.
No, I'm saying last week we talked about Huna Hama Park. Hanamungus.
Oh, yes. I know what you mean. In Pasadena.
Yes.
But we went to this park. It was a reservoir, and then in the 60s, it broke and killed a bunch of people. R.I.P.
Sad day.
But now, beautiful park, and at the top of it where the reservoir was beautiful.
Oh my, it basically looks like Fantasyland. It looks like the end of Majora's Mask when you talk to the Skull Kid in Dream Forest Moonland. It looked like a little utopia paradise. The dogs I've never seen happier in my life. They thought they were in paradise.
We saw 2 dogs playing and running through the tall grass. It was magical. And they had beautiful views of downtown LA.
Yes. What a great place.
And they had a really nice hummingbird garden where they had a bunch of hummingbird feeders. And the hummingbirds would get so close to you. It was great.
Unfortunately, bees. So I had to move away from the hummingbirds because the bees were having too much fun there.
I didn't care about the bees. The bees were fun.
Well, there you go.
I was having a great time looking at all the hummingbirds. After we went to the Kenneth Hahn State Park, we got some ramen. Oh, but before that, we walked to get cold brew, and the lady at the cafe gave us free food because they were closing.
Oh, yeah. Shouts out to free pastry.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, to Sasquatch. Shouts out to Sasquatch. There was a man outside, and I said to him, hey, they're giving away free food in there. And he responded to me so despondently, like, I'm good. The coolest man to ever live, Geese Peep, I guess. I want you to shoot me if I'm ever too cool for a free pastry, please. Golly.
The funny thing is, this is the second time we've gotten free pastries.
What was the first time?
Remember in the bus in DC? The
Yes.
French woman from the bakery was like, does anyone want... I can't.
It wasn't a French woman. It was a man. What are you talking about?
It was a woman.
There was a woman sitting down.
No, it was a woman. And then the man kept asking her.
Oh, you mean right here? And she said, I know. Yeah, okay. Please continue.
Anyway, shouts out. And then we had ramen at, what was the store called?
Tatsu.
And I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was good, especially coming off of last week's big gravy ramen debacle.
And they gave us a lot of spicy pickles, which was appreciated.
Oh, yeah. Great pickle quantity. Portion size, thank you.
They gave us like a whole cucumber worth.
Yes. Did you want to discuss the film, the CNN film presents I'm Chevy Chase and You're Not, Geese Peep?
Yeah, that was okay.
You have no connection to that man. I don't even think you've seen a Chevy Chase film, have you? You said you've never seen the vacation movies.
I've seen Community.
Ah, I see.
I thought after watching it, it seemed like they had a lot of footage and just kind of scrambled and edited it together.
Yeah. Like most documentaries, no?
Yeah, but she couldn't commit to what she wanted the takeaway to be, I feel like.
Marina, the creator of the documentary.
Yeah.
I always showed her name in the subtitles.
And I feel like you really didn't learn like any new insights or anything you couldn't find online, you know?
Maybe. Yeah, I've seen some better little docu-series, little documentary movies.
If anything, I think I expected the documentary to be much more critical of him, but it ended up not being as critical as I thought.
Yeah. I don't know. It's probably not as good as the Pee-wee one or the Robin Williams one, but it was whatever, I guess. I learned some stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine. Geese Peep, would you like to discuss yesterday's adventure on the rockiest beach known to man, aka the destroyer of knees and backs?
My
burning feet.
My back hurts so bad. We went tide pooling yesterday at White Point Beach in San Pedro, right?
Sure, that sounds right.
I think so. When we first got there, I was like, oh no, did the internet lie to me again about tide pooling? But then we discovered we had to like go to a little further north to get the good tide pools. And I saw starfish, but I did some amazing shelling. I got some great shells. And this is one of the rare beaches in the area where you can actually collect things as long as it's not
a specific kind of
it's not like starfish or abalone or barnacles. Anyway, the good tide pooling there is near the big drain pipe.
Yeah, but I would recommend if you're looking at a Google map, to all you tide poolers out there in Southern California, the thousands of you, millions maybe. If you look at the map on Google, you'll see a little baseball field. And if you go west of the baseball field onto the beach, I don't know how you're going to get to the beach. That's impossible to do. But if you manage to do that, you'll find a starfish probably, right? Am I right? Yes.
And we also went to the corner store, which was basically the only local spot you could get something to eat. And it's been open since 1947.
The 40s. And I like to call it an oasis because I had to go there multiple times for cold brew, food, and restrooms. So shouts out.
So we got there and we started tide pooling and we ran out of water. So Michael had to go on a very strenuous journey across the many rocks and tide pools, walk up a cliff, all the way back to the corner store to get us more water.
It was one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my entire life. I thought the first leg of the journey was difficult when I was climbing a cliff, sneaking through bushes and into ripped fences to get through. But no, it was on the way back when I found the way to the beach that I thought was the real way, but then you have to slide down like it was the most uncharted thing I've ever done in my life. So many like slides and quick time events and slipping through little things. And I walked across this jaggedy, rockety beach for so long. It felt like took hours. It was so difficult. But you did get a good feeling of accomplishment at the end of the great video game journey. Geese Beep, was there any? Yes.
There seems to be a population of peacocks that live in the neighborhood, which is fun.
Yep, that's lots of fun. They're always flying around, screaming at each other.
Sound like cats.
Pretty birds. Geese Peep, was there anything more you wanted to discuss before we move on to News of the Week? We got some great sales numbers out from sarahb.net. That's right. Listen to these sales numbers. Everybody loves sales numbers, Geese Peep.
I hate numbers.
As of December 31st, 2025, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has sold 28.08 million units. And Pokemon Sword and Shield has sold 27.08. I like how I said 27.08. 27.08 million units. Also, Pokemon Legends ZA has sold 12.3 million units. On the Switch 1, 8.4 million units. And on Switch 2, 3.89 million units. But these numbers are actually very skewed because they're not accounting for all the upgrades people did, which is how I got it on the Switch 2 version, because it's cheaper that way to get a Costco gift card, buy it on Switch 1 with a voucher, and then upgrade it. You end up saving like $20 or something. So that's how I did it, so don't trust those numbers. And in the final piece of Pokemon news this week, the second set of Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch Online icons are now available for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers. So why don't you download some of those? And that concludes Poké-news of the Week. Thank you, Sarah B. Sarah B.
Thank you.
It is now time to discuss an episode of Pokemon. Geese Peep, can you please tell us what happened in English last time on Pokes? In English.
A Meteo arrives, and the kids immediately rush to free the 6 heroes while Spinal is away. Or so they think.
Can you please tell us the name of this week's episode in English?
Get back the 6 heroes.
Or in Japanese. And excuse me if the pitch accent is wrong on this, because there's a lot of kanji, and I'm maybe going to mess up a little. 六英雄を取り戻せ! And Geese Peep, I'm going to go ahead and need a 1-sentence synopsis for this episode.
The battle for public opinion.
Wow. Or as she wrote, Public Onion.
No, I didn't.
Episode 125. I wonder what happens this week. We're going to, and look, this is one of those situations. This is very much a show that, one episode leads to the next. We know this. It's a serialized program. But if you haven't watched last week's episode or listened to the discussion of last week's episode, you better do that now, because you're going to be real lost at the start of this one. The Rising Voltaclers are separated, Geese Peep, and they all got to fight the Laqua-infused 6 heroes, and Pagogo-chan's hopping out, and we got Meowscarada and Hatteran. Geese Peep, I forgot that Hatteran evolved. It's been so long since we've seen this girl.
I like how they immediately evolved Charcadet, and then just didn't include him in this battle.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point for our whole idea of we got separate teams doing completely separate things and nobody has any idea what's going on. That's a good point.
Okay,
yeah.
so...
He couldn't battle? He's ready to roll.
I know.
All the stars are here, Geese Peep. Everybody's throwing out all their Pokemon, with the huge glaring exception of Armarouge for some reason. What? I bet at the end of this, Armarouge was like, what, you guys all battled and had a great time without me?
Maybe. I'm sure, like, in some future episode, we'll get that, he was tuckered out because he evolved.
No, because, Ceruledge wasn't here either, because Amethio just uses Shiny Zygarde the whole time. Time for a theme song. This is actually, it acts like this is a huge deal episode where we don't even get... Remember how we don't even get a true in credits? They play the big spoilers. They play the in credits over a scene because they act like this is such a big deal. Okay, we're back from the theme song. Sidian is here to attack Liko, and he tells Cleavor to do it. Meowscarada, use Quick Attack. Hatteran, use Confusion. Trick Flower, Psycho Cut. And Cleavor, my boy, if Taylor were here, he'd be making fun of him, but he's strong. With all this super, super strong sphere, he's slashing through the attacks.
He looks like he lives in a swamp.
Meanwhile, Roy is fighting Coral and her Galarian Moltres. Kilowattrel, use Spark. Skeletor, use Torch Song. Geese Peep.
I forget, but what is the explanation they give for how they are able to give the Pokemon commands since they're not the trainers.
It's got to be the strong spheres. And also, they don't actually ever give commands other than attack. They're not actually saying attack names. So,
oh, I guess not.
But yeah, they have some level of control with these super strong spheres. Shouts out. We say it every week, but we need to shout it out again. What the anime has done with Little Skeledirge Bird. It's such a fun little companion, such a little sprite, such a little familiar vibe. Not like a vibe that's familiar.
Like a witch.
Yeah, like, from the Castlevania Symphony of the Night, a familiar. Oh no, Geese Peep! Skeledirge, since he evolved, he's a ghost type now, so he's weak to dark, so he's weak to Galarian Moltres. Oh my god, use Uproar at the very least. Also, meanwhile, we got Ulton Dragonite fighting Rubella with Gouging Fire, and they use, I'm going to be honest, they use a lot of Dragon-type moves. That's definitely what's going on. But out of nowhere, why did I forget his name? Gouging Fire uses a rock move, and it hits Dragonite so hard. These super strong spheres, they just keep powering these Pokemon up more and more.
I like how Ult is like, nobody told me he has rock moves.
Ult's the MVP in this episode. Big spoilers. It's gonna bite him in the buttocks later on, but he's a mouthy little boy. He can't stop saying his mind, speaking his mind.
Big brat energy.
Man. Also, we got Dot and Tinkaton. They're fighting Arboliva and Chelsea. Quaxwell, use Air Cutter. My God, it's no use. Okay. New plan, Quaxwell. How about you use a big ol' low kick and give Tinkaton an opening? And we got to give credit where credit's due. You hate battles. We know this.
Mm-hmm.
That low kick animation looks sick.
I like how they did the sketchy lines on
Yes,
that.
It was cool. It was like you're playing Street Fighter 4 Vanilla.
I wish they did more different animation styles in this episode.
Good. Oh my god, Quaxwell, no, he's pelted with such a huge Laqua attack, immediately knocked out. The disrespect my little duck boy has to go through week after week. Never gets to evolve, always getting hit by things. Also, we've got Indian Lapras versus Amethia with the shiny Zygarde, and unfortunately, Geese Peep, shiny Zygarde, he's all frozen. Core Enforcer Zygarde. All right, now that we've seen all the characters, let's just keep circling back over and over again this entire episode, Geese Peep.
And that's when I started looking at how much time I had on the episode.
Back to Liko. Heal Pulse Hatteran. God, Cleavor, you're so fast. And then we get, this is another thing that happens almost every episode, we get just the most Dragon Ball Z scene you've ever seen in your life. Meowscarada and Cleavor just going to shoo-shoo, 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 little quick attack where it's, oh my god, they're moving so fast we can't even see. Shoo-shoo, shoo-shoo. Meowscarada's been hit. Psycho Cut Hatteran. Oh my god. Both Hatteran and Meowscarada are down. Pagogo-chan screaming his mind out. Everybody's just getting so destroyed, Geese Peep. Oh, they're so powerful with the super strong spheres. And right when we think we're done, we get a commercial break. We're back for the commercial break. Now they decide they want to be a little clever little animators. They think they're the special. I was trying to quote my boy from Trading Spouses, who runs off and he says he loves bacon, and he says, I keep losing at deals. God, the funniest clip known to man. Anyway.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I've shown you the video when you said that last time. He's the funniest character to ever appear on television.
Evidently not, because I don't remember.
Yes, he's very funny. And he hates that his new mother won't let him eat bacon. And he says, bacon's good for me. And he packs his little suitcase and he says, she wants to be sarcastic? Well, I'm leaving.
I remember watching Wife Swap with my family.
Yeah, that's good. What was I talking about? Oh, Liko gets a zoom in her eye, and she looks like she's about to go Super Saiyan. And then they transition to Hatteran's eye, and somebody on the team must have thought they were the most brilliant animator of all time. That's the greatest storyboard they've ever done. Heal Wish again, Hatteran. Meowscarada, she's up. She's back for more.
Terastalize.
Acrobatics, Meowscarada. All right, that's fun. That's cool. Let's go back to Roy. We've said it before. I'll say it again. Galarian Moltres, he looks sick. Especially when he has the Laqua-infused eyeballs with the crystal on it. It's sick. It's sick. But then Roy decides, by the way, I learned pretty quick the whole point of this episode is what they're trying to show is they're trying to say, oh, we got to have these kids all remember what they learned at Blueberry Academy and apply the lessons they learned to the battle. Blueberry Academy is where Roy learned to relax and some other stuff.
And they learned double battles.
They've done double battles before.
But they made such a big deal about it in those episodes.
No, that's just because that's how battles work in Blueberry Academy. They're always double. Roy says, we can't let this battle last for too long. He says this to Captain Pikachu. Roy says they're going to lose their bond. Which, at first, I wrote to myself, whatever that means. But, spoilers, we will find out what that means. And now, Geese Peep, it's time for Roy to practice what he learned from Drayton. That's right, taking a deep breath and chilling out. A little relaxation. Kilowattrel, now that I've calmed down a little bit, why don't you fly around to get Galarian Moltres' attention and do a little charge up? And Skeledirge, don't get too excited. Calm down, Skeledirge. Just wait. Just wait. Coral yells at Galarian Moltres to attack. Now we'll take this opportunity to Flamethrower. Oh, man. Galarian Moltres hits Skeledirge so hard. But then, what does Skeledirge bite?
His foot.
What's a bird foot called?
Foot.
We call
Claw?
them... They're not talons?
Talons.
Bird expert Geese Peep over here.
You made the same exact joke last time this happened.
How many times were we biting birds' feet?
No, we had another similar bird anatomy question.
Oh, I see.
True gamers will remember and write to us at looklistencast@gmail.com.
Anyway, it's a good thing Skeledirge is a big, giant alligator crocodile man now, because he's got a very strong jaw, and he's holding on for dear life. And Galarian Moltres is in a lot of pain. Kilowattrel, I need you to
Terastalize. And is this the first time we see it terastalized?
I don't remember seeing it. I mean, he's probably terastalized once or twice before. I don't remember. But maybe.
I would remember because, he's my boy.
Yeah, well.
And he has a big light bulb on his head now.
Because he's Electric Terror. And now, Kilowattrel, I need you to nosedive and use Spark. But Galarian Moltres Geese Peep moves out of the way. And my word, Kilowattrel, did you just learn Supercell Slam? Well, I got terrible news, Geese Peep. Here's the problem with Supercell Slam. If you miss, you take damage. And that poor bird just slammed himself into the ground. And that probably hurt a lot. So.
It looked rough.
I'm sorry, Kilowattrel, about that one. So Roy, of course, now that he's calmed down and can think clearly, says, oh, just do that again. And I went, ooh, but it worked out. Kilowattrel just did it again and hit a big ol' hit, honestly, on Galarian Moltres. So shouts out. And I think, Geese Peep, that Roy figured out a winning strategy because he's going to say, Skeledirge, why don't we start up a Hungies Hoedown? That's going to excite Kilowattrel so much that we're going to do it. We're just going to go ahead and work together, and we're going to beat Galarian Moltres together. We did it. Shouts out to Roy.
Honestly, surprising.
Why? We all know Roy's number one trainer.
I know, but they didn't learn that much since their last battle against the 6 heroes.
He didn't need to learn. He's always great.
Okay, but the whole point was that they weren't powerful enough to beat the 6 heroes.
Sounds like you forgot when he took a large breath. One deep breath, please.
So all I needed to do was one big breath?
One deep breath. I will take my victory now. Thank you.
Okay.
Bad news, though. Unfortunately for Ult, his Dragonite, a little bit less lucky than Roy because he's getting hit a lot. And much like we said earlier, Geese Peep, all the kids got to remember what they learned. And what was Ult taught? He was taught you need to look at your Pokedex from time to time. So he pulls out his Pokedex, and unfortunately for him, when he's looking up a Paradox ancient Pokemon, Pokedex says, I have no idea what that is. Yeah. So he says, darn it. But then he says, well, why don't I just look up what moves Dragonite knows? And the Pokedex told him. So he went, ooh, that's a good move. And he says, Dragonite, let's
Mega Evolve.
And I got to hand it to Ult, Geese Peep. He uses his noggin. He says, Dragon Fire type, huh? Perfect. Dragonite, use Twister. That's right. Use it to stop gouging fire's big ol' rocks. That's right. And now that we have a giant tornado full of rocks that is both Dragon type and Rock type, I want you to just smack that tornado right onto Gouging Fire's face so you hit him with a 4 times effective move because it's both dragon, super effective against dragon, plus it's rock, super effective against fire. Shouts out. What a brilliant plan. After Ult destroys Gouging Fire, I really like this scene. Probably my favorite scene in the episode. Ult's so proud of himself, but you know who else is proud of Ult? Dragonite. And Mega Dragonite just pats Ult's head and rubs it like a little boy. You did great.
That was really cute.
All right, let's jump back to Dot. That'll be fun. Actually, it will, because everybody loves Goldango. Goldango's everybody's favorite Pokemon. So go Goldango.
I have to say, Goldango won me over.
Yeah, fine. I knew he would. He's the greatest. Is he Macaroni Man? Yes. Is he the string cheese mascot? Yes. But he's my boy and everyone else's boy. Hurry, surf around and use Astonish on Arboliva. And Tinkaton, take this opportunity to charge up your attack. And now, Goldango, use Make It Rain. Pin Arboliva to the Cyber Cube. Tinkaton, use that powered-up Megaton Gigaton Hammer. Ooh. Tinkaton KO'd Arboliva and broke the Techno Box.
So now they can all see each other.
Ooh, yes. Okay. Jeez Louise, this battle, huh? What a battle. Let me take a sip of water. This battle so long. Good God. It's got to be top 3 biggest battles we've ever had. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we even? Let's go back to Amethio. Sure. Zygarde, use 1,000 arrows on Lapras. Okay. Now, am I a bit exhausted from the battle? Yes. That being said, they still give me some cool moments because here's the thing. I don't even remember who Amethio's fighting, but he certainly says secretly to Zygarde, I need you to switch to dog form, 10% form, so you can just zip around everywhere. You can dog warp. He's
fighting the male goon.
You talking about Indy?
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. Oh, wow. Lapras, take a core enforcer to the face, and let's destroy all the Matrix boxes. Oh, God. Okay. I think we only got one more. Geese people. We got this. Let's go back to Meowscarada and Kleavor. What a fool Kleavor was this whole time. I think it was Sidian who was saying, you don't really think that Meowscarada is strong enough to fight against Kleavor, do you? She's been spending this whole time running around setting invisible piano wire leaf traps just to hold Kleavor in place. And then my favorite line of the episode comes up. And unfortunately, they're not going to make it this funny in English, but in Japanese, the translation is, quote, Meowscarada, use a whole lot of magical leaves. And here's the thing, Kleavor's donezo. He can't take a whole lot of them. I don't think anybody can, honestly. And, of course, he breaks his box.
Do you think a whole lot is bigger than a really big magical leaf?
Oh, yeah. It was a whole lot. Geese Beep, you kidding me? And shouts out, everybody, because every single one of the Rising Evil Tacklers, they won their battle.
Spinal shocked.
He's understandably upset, but we'll soon find out. Maybe this was just all according to plan. Pagogo-chan takes this opportunity, Geese Peep, to terastalize and suck up some of the Loquium juice. And then Spinal yells at the explorers. He says, use the super strong spheres again, even though they're all on the edge of destruction. And luckily, our boys, who I think are eventually going to join forces.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Coral and Sidian, they protest. They say to Spinal, they say, what do you mean you use the super strong spheres again? These boys are in so much pain. What do you mean? But all the other explorers, they don't listen to the protestations. They don't listen to these Protestants. These poor 6 heroes. So much pain they're in, Geese Peep. And what happens when they reuse the super strong spheres again?
They start fighting each other, which the kids think means that they no longer have their bonds. And they're like, oh no, is it all over?
Their bond is lost. Zygarde, do something! You're the ecosystem protector after all. So Zygarde says, you're correct in perfect English to Amethio. He says, it's time for me to return to my 50% form. And then he kind of stings the 6 heroes with some little Zygarde dust. And then Pagogo-chan uses his classic magical shell technique and puts a bunch of psychic memories of their adventures together. with Lucius, Baby Sprigatito. We get a whole clip show adventure, Geese Peep. That was fun, remember? With the wild violin. And they finally calm down. And they're going to listen to the Rising Volt Tacklers now after the long clip show. Do you like the long clip show?
No. Whatever. Liko does her classic, like, shout out from the first season. Like, listen to me.
Yeah, she loves doing that. Don't you remember? And Spinal says, there's no way they remember. You're wasting your breath. It's me. Spinal. And right as he says that, Pagogo-chan says, bet. And he turns stellar form. And he terastalizes every single one of the 6 heroes. Spinal says, impossible. And now Ult stands up for himself. And he says, we're taking them back. And now we get a very suspicious scene where Spinal says, ooh, woo, we were just keeping them safe after finding them injured. And Ult starts going off at Spinal. He's saying, I'm going to destroy all your stuff, explorers. And Roy's like, he's not worth it. Let's blow this popsicle stand. And then, funniest moment of the entire episode, probably going to get a whole point for this one. They just blow up a giant hole in the wall and walk through.
It's good. It's good.
I'm laughing. They leave. And then the explorers all start to say, oh my God, this is such a big deal. We can't lose them. But Spinal goes, like I said earlier, all part of the plan. And he reveals that he's recorded the entire thing. And now he's going to edit it to make the Rising Volt Tacklers look bad, get everybody on the explorer side. You know, like what happened before a year ago. You remember. They've done this song and dance before. All right, battle's finally over. Thank God. Whew. Let's cut to the kids and heroes on a little seaside cliff while they play the outro song. That's right. And the credits start to roll. This is crazy. You kidding me?
The 6 heroes are like, all right, okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, Amethio explains to all the kids, well, it appears the 6 heroes have made a promise to Zygarde. They're going all back home, but they will help again when needed. Well, looks like we're all going to meet again in Laqua. But first, we got to go to Naruto Academy.
I thought that meant, I don't know why, that they will meet in heaven again.
Oh my God.
But then I remembered that, because I thought this battle was, oh, they used all the guys to clear all the Laquium from the earth. But like, no, that's what they're referring to.
Yeah.
That's the final.
Yeah, we got to get all the 10,000 heroes of light, and then we're finally going to do it.
And it was not until Dot mentioned it, but I forgot that the whole point was that they were going to gather more data to prove that the strong spheres were bad.
Yeah, but
forgot about that as well.
Well, we'll soon see. They better do that quick, because I ask myself, the credits have fully completed, so is the episode over? The outro song is finished. Episode's not over. We get a whole additional stinger scene. And it's exactly what I said, guys. The explorers, they've put out news reports. They're controlling the media. They're saying that the Rising Volt Tacklers stole the heroes, and we see entire cities watching these lies. Perhaps the citizens of Levencia are watching with their Staryu, Oddish, Jolteon, Jigglypuff, Rowlet, and Psyduck, and Slowpoke, Charmander, Slugoo, and Stuffle. Oh my God, I knew this was going to happen, Geese Peep. They're using Ult's words against him. Flamigo can't believe it.
I know, I saw that. Real quick before we go to the Mega Evolution.
I'm not done yet.
Okay, never mind.
Everybody believes Spinal. They're all gonna buy strong spheres, Geese Peep. Look, they're advertising them. Buy your super strong spheres now. Destroy the planet. To be continued.
Before we go to the Mega Evolution, I have a question.
Yes.
So right after they beat the 6 heroes and they get out of there, Chelsea's like, oh no, it's gonna be such a great loss that we lost the 6 heroes. And Spinal's like, it's whatever. They were helpful in my experiments.
Yeah, the research.
And then he says, not to mention ... What do you think that means?
I don't even remember that. Not to mention.
Yeah, he was like, they were useful in my experiments ... Not to mention, like under his breath.
Oh, I don't know. Please write in looklessandgas@gmail.com. What did he mean by that? All right, Geese Peep, the episode's over. Before we discuss a score, would you please tell us all about the Mega of the week this week with Mega Garchomp, please? Taylor loves Garchomp. Who doesn't love him? He's a very strong Pokemon.
We love a randomly chosen Mega Evolution.
Well, you can't win every week. You can't always make it fit.
Is there not a mega evolution of Hatterene?
She has a Gigantamax.
I remember. Anyway, Garchomp, his mega evolution looks like he got handsome Squidward. He just kind of has a jaw now. He now has concentrated energy in its arms, and he can use those blades to launch attacks with ease.
Wow.
And then the animation is Nidothing appearing to be recording in front of Grandma Diana's castle?
It's definitely a castle. I don't know if it's her castle. Maybe, though.
And she's explaining how with his super strong arms, he can finish off foes with slashes strong enough to rend the earth.
Wow. He's so strong.
Yeah, his appearance, not that impressive.
He's in that classic line of megas where it's just edgy, more spikes.
Looks like anime men, the anime even
Galian Evangelists.
Yeah, one of those guys.
Okay. Wow. Okay, what score to give this? Oh man. Okay, do you want to go first? Because I know you're giving it like a 1 or a 2. Something ludicrously low.
Not that low. Honestly.
Look, I was a little bored. Let's start with like a 5 base and start adding some points. There was cool moments, sick moments, cool battle techniques. I appreciate them using what they've learned. So I'm probably going to end up giving this close to the 7s, like maybe the high 6s, maybe. It's, it's big plot. It's very important. Just like last week, sort of.
I thought they would reference the first time they battled the 6 heroes more.
We got a half of 2 second, half a 3 second clip in the clip show, remember? That was fun.
I guess. I don't know. What did Liko learn at Blueberry Academy?
Just believe in your pokes. Wasn't it? Or was it let Meowscarada do her little tricks? Was that it? Because she's so smart and clever at putting little traps.
I know that Charcadet did some training.
Yeah, too bad he wasn't here to battle, huh?
Yeah. What did Dot learn at Blueberry Academy?
Let Tinkaton charge her attack, I guess. All I remember is ult. Wait, did Liko and Dot even have trainers? Did they even have little guys teach them things?
Liko battled with roommate.
Yeah, I don't know if Ann taught or anything. All I remember is Roy was actually assigned an Elite Four member who taught him to relax, and Ult was signed Lacey, and Lacey taught him to use his Pokedex. That's what I remember. Those are 2 lessons are what I remember, and those are the 2 lessons we got today. Please write in looklistedcast@gmail.com if Dot and Liko learned anything and we just forgot completely. Couldn't have been that important, am I right?
And Amethio learned...
Amethio wasn't there. He was busy.
No, I meant what lesson he brought to the battle.
He learned Zygarde's very sick.
Oh, and that... So going forward, he's going to do more research with Zygarde because his strength isn't fully unlocked.
I see.
Remember, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, we got to get all the Zygarde cells. Okay, so what score are we giving this bad boy?
6.
6.0 from Geese Peep. 7. Am I giving it a 7? Maybe. Yeah, okay. It was a big battle, but I don't necessarily have anything against battles. It's just kind of exhausting a little bit, but it was cool enough. There were some cool moments. And I gotta... The eye zoom in thing, I think they were trying too hard, but I gotta give them some amount of credit for at least trying with the low kick, cool art style. You know, sometimes it's a little swing and a miss, but they were going for something a little bit. So let's give it a 7.0. It's fine. 6 and 7, that's fine. Am I right? Come on, guys. That's fine. All right, before we move on to the wrap-up, we got a comment that I had no idea, and I rewatched, and it was so true. So this is from Giboit period, and he says, or she says, fun fact, Diana catching Pecharunt was hinted all the way back at the beginning of episode 107. And I went back to episode 107. It literally opens with Diana holding a Pokeball, walking with Butler Hamburgers, them talking about, oh man, that was a crazy scenario we just went through and catching this thing, huh? And at the time we were like, what is this cold open? What are they talking about? And then 25 episodes later, they reference it again. What a weird...
Oh, yeah.
Why would they do...
Maybe it was the episode was supposed to happen like sooner.
I wonder. You would think, because that's a long time ago to then just jump. And the Petron episode actually...
It felt like it was an odd place.
Well, yeah, that was after the Christmas break is when it happened. So there was weeks before it aired. Maybe it had something to do with the song. I don't know. But didn't you both, you and Taylor, at the time we watched it, say this was produced, it feels like it was produced out of order with a different team because everybody loved that episode?
Yeah.
So that's got to be it. It's just a theory, but it might be correct. Who's to say? Geese Peep, did you have any more things to say? Or are we prepared to move on to the wrap-up?
I wonder when we're going to get Frito back.
I wonder when we're going to get Frito back, too. Is he going to come from space and save the day, perhaps?
No, he's still debriefing at NASA.
No, he's in space. He's got to be. Megastar Army, right?
He said that he was going back to NASA to give them their field reports.
Wow. Well, it'd be JSA. It's in Japan. Hoenn Space Agency.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. You can find us at Look, Listen, Cast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please like and comment so more people can find us. Also, thank you to Keith Squared for the artwork. You can find him at twitch.keith.
Twitch.keith, your classic blunder. You say that every week.
Twitch.tv/Keith Squared.
You said it correctly, and it still sounded like you messed up. Twitch.teeth.
Shout out for always streaming while I'm busy, Keith.
Yeah,
God.
Way to go, Keith. What are you gonna do? A Skyline Saturday? What are you gonna watch Saturday Night Live? What are you gonna watch hockey?
He's doing Twilight Princess Legend Zelda.
Good game. Some people gave it the business. It's not the worst game. It's certainly better than Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Okay, this has nothing to do with anything. I'm sorry, we're in the wrap up, but people who give Spirit Tracks a hard time, you're out of your mind. Spirit Tracks, 1,000,000 times better than Phantom Hourglass. You're all insane. Sorry. Thank you to Professor Website for the Ticklebits and the boilerplate. That's twitch.tv/prof_ticklebits. Please recommend this podcast to friends and family. If they like Pokemon, they can listen to the second half. If they like other things, they can listen to the first half. And if you like Pokemon and other things, listen to the whole thing. I'm not going to stop you. Also, you can send questions and comments to be read aloud at looklistencast@gmail.com. Okay, everybody say goodbye. Geese Peep going to say goodbye around 5 times. I'm going to say goodbye 2 times maximum. Maybe 3. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm going to do one more goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
That's enough.
Bye.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Peep. Thank you for listening to the Geese Peep Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company